You got me in chains. You got me in chains for your love, but I wouldn't change. No, I wouldn't change this love. Got me in chains. Got me in chains for your love, but I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change this love. Let's just get to it. Freedom with chains, slavery without chains. Freedom with chains or slavery without chains. That ultimatum is prevalent whether you like it or not. It is the indefinite ultimatum. And in 2024, I feel like we should start all of my videos should start with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Or rather, I'm sorry, I've been smoking, I've been drinking, so excuse my language. Let me sip some more of my tequila concoction. Tequila concoction, nigga. I'm feeling fucking good. At some point, every so often, I hope everybody, every single one of y'all have aha, fuck, it feels good to be alive moment. Fuck! It feels fucking great to be alive, nigga. Oh, I fucking love me from time to time. And thank you to those that make us feel this way. You know what I mean? It's just something about being human that feels fucking good to be alive. You gotta have them moments. But let's get back on track. Got me in chains. Got me in chains for your love, but I wouldn't change. No, I wouldn't change this love. Got me in chains. Ooh, baby, got me in chains for your love, but I wouldn't change. No, I wouldn't change this love. You best believe there are chains, nigga. It's the point of all of these books. I could go to any and every single one of these books. It is all about getting your mind right, all about understanding what you are dealing with here. Erik Fromm, The Art of Being, on Audible. The Art of Being. I don't know if you can, whatever, but The Art of Being. I don't actually have this book. It's on Audible. You know what I'm saying? I told you I didn't got finally hip to Audible. I love having the physical copies of books, man, so I can refer back to them. On this shit, I just got to take, it'll end up with a shit ton of fucking clips and bookmarks. I'll have a ton of fucking clips and bookmarks. Chapter to chapter, because it's like, that's some good shit. That's some good shit. And I just really got to share a lot of this shit with you because that's where it comes from. Slaves without chains. You'll get all of this. Everything I'm about to talk about comes or it stems from The Art of Being by Erik Fromm. If you can get that book on Amazon or find it on Audible, do that. And this is my summation of. But just some things that I took out of the book that I really wanted to share with you cats. And I got a lot of fucking books. We got a lot to talk about. So let's just try to get through it as fast as we can. Get in as much as we can. Got me in chains. I'm sorry, man. You know, the spirit, bro. When they get to flowing, man, it is what it is. And that's just a song that, like, caught me on the way to the crib. I've been trying to do this video for quite some time, but it just caught me on the way to the crib, and I've been singing it ever since, stretching and flexing like, nigga. But I wouldn't change. No, I wouldn't change this love. Man, you know. Because I love it. I really do. This pursuit of information, and then when you get these nuggets that make you, it feels good to be alive, nigga. Oh, it just does. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's like a fleeting moment, I would love to have spent 45 minutes to an hour just indulging in the passion and the, you know, of the aha moments, right? Like, I just can't take it no more, nigga. This shit is grandiose. You know what I mean? And I gotta take advantage of it. So, I gotta fucking share it. This fucking book, it's like that, man. I may be going nuts for a second again. I've been smoking, I've been drinking, so excuse my language. Let's, you know what I mean? Nigga. It's hard as fuck. So, I do believe, let me pull it up real quick. Chapter 2, Slaves Without Chains. I came across this in chapter 2, so I had to put a bookmark there and whatever else. Slaves Without Chains. So again, this is the way society has been going. The way everything has came to be, at least where I am in the United States of America. But I feel like this is pretty much anywhere, wherever you live, wherever you from, wherever you got going, when you born and raised. Again, a slave without chains. So we have to approach this ultimatum piece by piece. You know, I want to be a nerd about this, and because indefinite, right? Indefinite is vague, and for a long, I ain't gonna get into it. I ain't gonna go that far into it. I ain't gonna get too. Again, I want to be a nerd about this, but we ain't gonna break down indefinite and ultimatum and why they are what it are. But in ultimatum, I will say this though. Ultimatum. The definition of ultimatum: a final demand or statement of terms, the rejection of which will result in retaliation or a breakdown in relations. The rejection of which will result in a retaliation or a breakdown in relations. You have no fucking choice. This is the 2024 ultimatum. You have to decide, nigga. And ultimately, again, the law of duality, this is why this shit is so fucking hard reaching a nigga like me, man. And it's like so many goddamn ding, 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 like fireworks. Ding, 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 ding. All this shit suddenly makes sense. I could point to any and every one of these books, and it just pours out freedom with chains or slavery without chains. Nigga, you decide. Or it will be decided for you. It has already been decided for you. This is the life we live. This is what it means to be human. This is what it means to be human. You can have freedom with chains, and simultaneously at the same time you are experiencing slavery without chains. But being conscious and aware of the shit, that's where you see freedom at, with chains. That means it's chains. With chains. Nigga, I am with chains right now, but with chains. And this is how I try to, again, connect the dots for a lot of people. When we speak about chains, it could go anywhere and everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. And I want your mind to go anywhere and everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. That's why I try to soak up as much time. It's been, almost 9 minutes? Try to soak up as much time before I give you my perspective on it, because I want your mind to go anywhere and everywhere. If I take one more drink, I'm gonna end up fucking you, nigga. Whew. Is that what you wanna do, shawty? That's what we get ready to do. It's gonna happen, nigga. Nigga. Fuck. Let's get to it. So, again, duality, you get them both, nigga. A good lawyer can argue for or against. You get them both, nigga. But for real, you get them both, nigga. Because what's said without saying is that you want to live. That's what's said without saying. I've asked this question to a lot of people. If you had to choose, well, I'll say several people at work and you know, friends and family. Several people asked this question. If you had to choose, which would you go with? Freedom with chains or slavery without chains? What would you do? See, it's not just the presence of chains, but it's with chains, without chains. See, with chains means some form of bondage, aka slavery. But without chains, it still represents some form of freedom. So I can be free as a slave, or I have to be free as a slave? Huh? How does that work? You see what I'm saying? Logically, it does kind of get to you. That's where it gets kind of tricky. But here are the chains, right? This is my perspective on it, which is what really... Thank you for staying so long, OZ the Wizard. Like, share, subscribe, but don't do none of that shit. Keep running and hiding. But rock with me, right? Because if I take one more drink, I'm gonna end up fucking you. Man, that's just how I know the spirit be rolling and whatever else. Man, they bring me random songs, or just bring me the songs, and then I get in the groove and shit. So, my bad. I just had to freak out for a second. My fault. I'm feeling a lot of love right now, man. It's 2024. God damn. So, ultimately, you get them both. Okay? I'm back on track. You get them both. You get them both, my nigga. You get them both. So, how can you have both? How can you be free but a slave and then a slave but free? So I'm going to get freedom, but I'm still in bondage. I'm still, how does that work? All right, here's how it works. Here are your chains. Right now, my niggas, as I stand before you, I am 5'11", maybe 5'10" and some chains if I take off these shoes. Man, I don't know. I ain't did my measurements or whatever in a minute. But that human body that you in, those are your chains, nigga. That is your chains. Your DNA, those are your chains. Doesn't it even look like a chain? It's got the hexagon, whatever, the spiral. It's a chain. They tell you, BCA, branch chain amino acids. In my, weightlifting shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's a chain. Got me in chains. Alright, I'm finna do it again. But you get where I'm coming from now? Does it make sense? Is it starting to soak in? Is the wheels? It's turning, bro. It's turning. It's turning. It's turning. Good shit. Yeah, man. Would you rather be free with chains or a slave without chains? Because you know what I mean? Like I said, I've asked this question to a lot of people. And the hidden assumption is that you want to live. Because what most people, at the heart of it all, what most people don't really deal with, the deepest level that a lot of people don't really go to is survival. Do you want to live? Do you want to live? Because at the end of the day, are you okay with just being alive? You want to breathe? Do you want to live? Okay, so, check this out. Freedom with chains, or slavery without chains. Slavery without chains. So, that's just going straight to the ultimatum, right? Because the assumption is, again, you want to live. Okay. I went super deep. My bad. Let me backtrack. I'm trying to. I shouldn't have went in too hard, but we're gonna go back a little bit. We're gonna go back a little bit, right? Okay. So, let's take a step back. Alright? Let's take a step back. Do you want to live? The answer is yes. So, if you want to live, you have to deal with this ultimatum. Are you going to be free with chains, or are you going to be a slave without chains? Because ultimately, you cannot get out of that body that you in. Your mind is locked into the body that you in. So the first thing you have as a human being to have or to be, that's where this book by Erik Fromm, The Art of Being, this is the art of being, a human being versus a human having, right? So as we take a step back, or maybe we're starting at the beginning. As we start at the beginning, before we go completely left, we had to go completely right. Alright? So, again, and a lot of niggas, they don't stay this long. So there you go. You can go ahead and leave. You're 10, 15 minutes. We good. You good. Goodbye. There you go. You want to survive, then you have to deal with this fucking question. You know what I mean? And there are your chains. Your physical limits, your mental limits, because of the way your shit is wired and your mental or whatever, your upbringing, there is nobody like you. Nobody had the same parents as you. Nobody did as many minutes and walked as many miles in your shoes as you. So, take that for what it's worth. You can be free with all the things that come with you being you. I am motherfucking James, OZ the Wizard. You know what I mean? There you go. That's that. And you can stop right now. You can keep it moving. Or be a slave without chains. You can overcome all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can get rich and you know what I mean? Like, fuck, I'm whatever, and nigga, you can put on boots, and I can be 6 foot in these boots and just wear boots all the time. I had an uncle, Lord rest his soul, friend of the family. We knew him, he was so close and whatnot, but most of my cousins called him uncle, so I called him uncle. But it was, I had an uncle that died. But this nigga would put shoulder pads on his shit. You know what I'm saying? He would have like extra shoulder pads, or put like padding in his whatever, so he just always looked slightly bigger, slightly more buff than what the fuck he really was. You know what I'm saying? And he put an extra sole on his shoes, so it gave him a little bit more height than what he actually was. God rest his soul. He killed, but it is what it is. But I'm just saying, man, there are ways around your physical limitations and shit like that. But you are strapped to that shit. And the reason why I say you get them both straight up is because, well, take off everything that you got. Your clothes, walk out there in your birthday suit, butt ass naked, and see how long you can survive all 4 of the elements. Just in your birthday suit. Nigga, you're going to need things. You're going to need something. And so, at the end of the day, no matter what culture, where you're from, you are free with chains. Your environment, your whatever the fuck. This is nature. This is universal law, nigga. You have chains. That's what a law is. It's the authority, right? So again, as we, all right. I'm gonna take you further on into the book, right? Let's go further on into the book. So, authority. That's chapter 5. I'm not gonna get too much into the. Well, hopefully, all right. We quite a few minutes in. Hopefully, you get that. Okay, you get the concept. And again, pause the video, stop the video, let that soak in. Take that wherever you want to take that. We're gonna go a little bit deeper into the concept of a slave without chains, right? So, without chains, let me hit you with this too. Write this down. You feel me? Write this down. Let me hit you with this. Freedom with chains. With chains means that you are conscious, you are aware, you can see the chains, right? You can see them. You know exactly what it is. Again, you know exactly how tall you are, how much you weigh, where you come from, what you've been through. You know that just as much as your shadow knows that, but that's a different concept. We're gonna get deep. Oh, this shit gets super fucking deep. Telling you it does. But I'm just saying, right? You know your limitations. You know your chains. If you don't, that's what, again, some of what all of these books, what all of this shit is about, figuring out who you are and what you're dealing with. But anyways, you know your chains, your limitations, where you come from, your culture, your environment. Again, I'm right here in America, in Louisville, Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. The 502 has shaped and molded me in all kind of ways. But you get the point. That's free with chains. It's external. You know the chains. You can see them. A slave without chains, how are you still a slave if you don't have chains? It's because you do have chains, but you're unaware of them, or you don't see them. You see what I'm saying? You don't see them. You feel me? Or you are aware of them. You are very conscious of them. Very, very conscious of the chains. But because they're not physical chains, you don't have physical chains on you, you ain't worried about it. You feel me? Or just the fact that you know you are a slave is good enough for you. You don't need to know what the chains are. So there's no point in having like physical chains on you. You cool with just being a slave, man. A lot of people are like that. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? I posed this question. You done made it 20 minutes in. I posed this question as well. Here's another concept that works. Pose this question. Do you think, or do you feel like, do you think you are being forced? You are being forced, or you have been forced to work. And by work, that does mean get a job or whatever else. But do you feel like, or do you think you are being forced to work? Now again, I'm in America. I'm in a Western society. A industrial society. Damn right I do. But do you think you being forced to work? How else are you going to eat? How you going to get them clothes, nigga? This is a Hugo Boss shirt. How you going to get that shirt, bro? How you going to get them chains? How you going to have the roof over your head, nigga? There's rent. Then there's LG&E. Then you got to feed yourself. But you first got to pay for the roof over your head. Just to be inside instead of outside when it rains or when it's cold or during extreme heat. To have a roof over your head. How you gonna do any of this shit? So there you go. There's a slave without chains, nigga. Yes, you are forced to get a job. So in this book, The Art of Being, we skip forward to, you know what I'm saying, like chapter 5. I clipped chapter 5. And chapter 5 is where I came across the conversion from overt authority to anonymous authority, which is where we're getting at. You see what I'm saying? Freedom with chains. Freedom with overt authority. But you are free. How can you be free with chains? I know my limitations, but my mind, I am who I am. Who you are is who you are. And you accept that. And you run with that. And you go with that. That's what it is. At the end of the day, I am human. If you don't want to live, this is where, you know, the S word, sui isaidel. Sui isaidel. You might get sui isaidel. Otherwise, you want to live. Nigga, you keep waking up every day. You surviving. You want a better life. Not just a better life. You want to live. So, you know what I'm saying? Do you keep playing the pity party? Oh man, do you deal with what you got? You know, shit, you want to put on weight or do you want to lose weight? There are ways to go about that. And once you deal with it, okay, this is what I have, this is my this is my that. You are free to choose. Do you want to overcome such obstacles? Do you want to, within the parameters of who the fuck you are, what can you do? And be the best at what you do. You know what I mean? But again, the freedom, the slavery, okay. Conversion from overt authority, that's what it is. Freedom with change. Overt authority, this is law. Universal law. The law of duality. Hermeticism, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The Bible and all of this extra, you know, I'm just saying, man. The universal laws that you come to, this is what you have to deal with. Even when we get into like, you know, again, I could pull out so many books, but Where Science and Magic Meet, that's one of the books I wanted to pull out and kind of maybe start going through. But Where Science and Magic Meet, get this book. But it's so fucking scientifical and, you know what I mean, the neurological, the subconscious, and the this and the that. It's got all of them fucking words. Parapsychological anthropology. Jeffrey Mishlove, a Californian parapsychologist in psychic development systems, considers that while a desire for distance is understandable from a political and social perspective, this has had a stifling impact on the study of occultism from a historical, sociological, or other, you know, where science and magic meet, nigga. All of this shit is to get an understanding, to put shit in terms that to where you understand what the fuck is going on, because you have no choice but to deal with who the fuck you are, your DNA, your surroundings, your environment. You have no goddamn choice. No fucking choice. So there you go. And what fucks most people up is it's like, how is it that they have to deal with all the chains and bondage that they have to deal with, that they know you going through? Like, nigga, you from Louisville just like I'm from Louisville, but you came up. You did what you had to do. Or somehow, nigga, you at the same job that I'm at, but you happy about this shit. You got a different attitude. You on a different wave. What the fuck are you on? Because no matter where I'm at, like, recent situation I had, dude was like, come on, James, you're a leader. Nigga, I'm a leader whether I work here or not. Nigga, just like I'm a man, first and foremost. I could give a fuck less what your opinion is, nigga, but I'm a leader regardless. So just because I'm a leader here, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, man, who you are is who you are. And motherfuckers will try to exploit that because they are only who they are because of what they have. You are who you are because it's who you are. The art of being. Just being who you are. And if you have such a problem with authority that you can't deal with even the laws of who you are. Some people, they approach this occult shit, this spiritual shit, just to change who they are, not to get an understanding and to really, truly, you know what I'm saying, to come to an understanding and to overcome their respective limitations and shit. I think this is why a lot of the anime really goes hard. What I like the most about Dragon Ball Z and whatever else, because it was like every time the niggas hit an understanding of who they are and a limit or whatever else, they had to come to the realization that, you know what, I'm more than this. And next thing you know, fuck it, we Super Saiyan 3, nigga. Fuck it, now we Super Saiyan Beast mode, Super Saiyan God mode, man. I mean, just they understand their limitations and then they overcome that shit. It's a lot of that going on in anime. Specifically Dragon Ball Z. But that was just me on my Dragon Ball Z shit. Again, I've been smoking, I've been drinking, so excuse my language. But authority, nigga, if you have such a problem with authority, you ain't even gonna be able to deal with the universal laws, nigga. That who you are is who you are. And that's really what a lot of these motherfuckers try to do. They come to these books and they come to this shit just because they seek an understanding or an explanation. You know what I'm saying? As to why this is happening to them, what's going on with that, so they can blame the external, all of everything else going on outside the world. But when you really get deep, we going a little bit deeper into this, nigga. We almost 30 minutes in. Fair warning, we're going a little bit deeper. When you really subscribe again to the unconscious, the subconscious, nigga, this is you doing all of this shit to you. The closer you are to who you are supposed to be, the easier shit goes for you. The easier easier life will get for you, man. Just be who you are. Cat Williams said this shit in one of his most recent interviews when he decided to no longer lie and just be honest all the time. An entirely new perspective and came into life, you know what I mean? So I really took that motherfucking to heart. Like, yeah, bro, when you finally decide, if anything, to stop lying to yourself. Now, life is pimping. Let us not forget that. The Mind Control 101, Dark Psychology, whatever, lie to all them niggas, but you cannot lie to me. When you do start lying to you, that's when you develop the shadow. Because, nigga, we really know. The shadow really knows. You can push that shit to the side and you can try to hide it and whatever. You develop the shadow. And the motherfucker gets stronger and stronger and stronger the more you feed it and you keep that shit off to the side and you try to act like it ain't you. And then some shit pops off in the end and it just... Anyways, we're going to get into that. But again, that's why I say, man, that alone, freedom with chains, slavery without chains, can take your mind into so many different directions, as it should. Because this is 2024. This is 2024. I don't know about you, but nigga, I'm an 80s baby. I don't know any nigga when I was born and this and that. I mean, you know, how many niggas you know now? From 1923. How many 1920 niggas born in 1920, 1930 you know? So for me, that's just a short amount of time, nigga. It's 2023. I highly doubt I'm going to be here in 2083, 2085, nigga. 100 years from when I was born. Niggas just don't make it like that. And when they do, they ain't moving like that. It just don't crack. So again, nigga, if anything, let's just do this and be done with it. Anyways, I ain't gonna go too far into all of that. Like I said, man, you know, me on my personal path, nigga, shit can get a little crazy. It can get a little crazy. But this is the authority that you deal with. Universal law. Now that you're here, now that you're born, now that you're in a human body, now that you're here, life is pimping. Nature is pimping the holy fuck out of you. You better believe that. It's pimping the holy fuck out of you. Life is pimping. I mean, you know, and this is truly, it is nature. That's why I put it in nature, because there's a thin line between love and hate, but this is life. Like everything is feeding off of something. There is shit specifically. It evolved specifically to plants. Evolved specifically to eat bugs. Specifically. In this realm, and this is how they get their nitrogen and their potassium or whatever the fuck. It's called the pitcher plant. Look up the pitcher plant. Nigga, these motherfuckers, I mean, you know, most people know about the Venus flytrap. They evolved specifically to eat bugs. So, nigga, would that or would that not suck if you was a fucking fly? But hey, if you a fly, you just so happen to fall or be in the region and go for that fucking fly trap, well, there it is, nigga. There you go. You was free. You didn't have to. But at the same rate, there you go. You are a slave without change. You a slave to your wants and desires, nigga. You're human. You are a slave without chains. And you got to figure out what that means to you and how to assimilate that and how to deal with that in 2024. Straight the fuck up. You are a slave without chains. Now, is it you that has unchained yourself? How do you unchange yourself? But you are yet and still a slave because you cannot get out of this human body. You cannot. And I hate to keep like switching back and forth from the good and the bad, but this is how the neurotic. Again, ultimatum, a breakdown in relations. How can you even relate to yourself? It's hard to relate. This is why a lot of motherfuckers don't want to go through this philosophy. And again, the art of being. Erik Fromm, The Art of Being. That's the book that I'm pulling all of this shit from. The Art of Being by Erik Fromm. That's where all this shit is coming from, right? And we just on chapter 5. We ain't even made it through half the motherfucking clips I got. And I ain't got that many, but I got clips for days. I mean, not clips for days. I got several. No bad. Let me not exaggerate, man. It's a tendency to do that. Alright. But again, this is what you're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with here. And I want to pull out some of these other books to really like drive it home because we've got a lot of help. This is why I'd rather be free with change, because now that I know, like, you can come up with all this shit, you can find out your change. Anyways, my bad. Anonymous authority, right? If when you give up the overt authority of freedom with chains and you take the latter half, the slavery without chains, that's where it's anonymous authority. So, why it's such a tough question to deal with, such a conundrum in and of itself, right? As I asked before, do you feel like you're being forced to work? If not, how are you going to buy all of these things? How are you going to provide food? How can you have a child? You know what I'm saying? And not live off the streets or be homeless and shit. You feel me? That's where this is going. So, yes, essentially, if you want to have things, you have to get a job. You have to work. I don't necessarily want to say you have to have a job. If you want to consider it a job, don't. Some people work for themselves, but you have to work. You can't just walk out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, especially like I said, for rent, to pay rent, to have a roof over your head. You got to work. You have to provide a service. You have to work. You got to work. And work is such a broad word as well, down to effort. Even if you are homeless, then that would mean you are willing to put forth the effort to find a safe haven whenever you need to at night. Find somewhere that you can sleep. You can't just sleep under any bridge or under every intersection, behind any building or whatever. You got to find a safe place. It takes effort. So, you know what I mean? Would you want to put forth the effort? You know what I'm saying? Again, a slave without change. Are you forced to have a car, an automobile? Do you feel like you are being forced to? You know, again, the effort. If not, how are you going to get to the job that's all the way across town? How are you going to get to the grocery store? How do you whatever? Niggas without a car, catching bus and Uber and cabs and whatever else, probably wish they had a car. They know how easy, how much time it would save and whatever. And yes, so, I mean, you don't have to have a car, but without a car, you have to put forth considerably more effort. And the way society is geared, the way everything is shaped and molded, and again, I'm in an industrial society, it's towards living an effortless life. That's why you want to stack up the change and get your money together. So the less effort you have to do, the more money you have. Like, you can retire early. Guess what? That means you don't have to work. You no longer have to put forth effort every day. Go in and do your 9 to 5 and shit. You ain't got to do that shit no more. No more effort. Once you get enough money, you know. And if you are going to put forth the effort, I'm just saying, there you go. That's anonymous authority. Okay, nobody is there's no one exactly cracking the whip, but you do feel as if you have to have a car, or you do think you need a car. A car would be more efficient, this, that, and whatever, whatever. In the type of society that we have now built, you know, you want a better job, but they paying more over here. How you gonna get there? How close would the here where I'm at? It's called the TART. How close would the bus get you, or the subway get you to that job? And then there's certain times that you have to do this to do that. So if you're gonna be there like way early because that's the only time. Versus if you had a car, you could get there 5 minutes early, 15, 20 minutes early, whatever. But when you're on the bus, you're at the mercy of whenever they run and the times. Or when you get off the bus, are you gonna walk slow? Are you gonna jog? Are you gonna pace yourself? How fast can you get from the stop to the actual location where you gotta clock in? You know what I mean? Or whatever you got to do. But there you go. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. It's slavery without chains. Giving in to anonymous authority. Or do you become the authority of your life with chains? Look, this is my parameters. This is what I do. This is what I got going on, man. This is what it is. You know? Man, I don't know how else to really drive that home. But again, all of this is in the art of being, and I wanted to share that with you. We had to start off with that. So let's just go on to the next thing. As I mentioned, chapter 5. Later on in chapter 5, shortly after that, we get into the whole no effort and no pain. Again, the art of being. The art of being. So many people, because it's the way society, again, just the way everything is structured, right? If you have a car, no effort, no pain. It takes less effort to just jump in the car and drive over there. It does take an effort, but it takes less effort than if you would have to get on your bike and ride your bike to the store. And then there you're going to need a backpack. How are you going to carry all of these groceries? How many trips is it going to take for you to get as many groceries as you need? You know, you may have to make multiple trips if you're on a bike or walking. You see what I'm saying? Gas. You could just put $10 in your tank and drive legitimately all day. Versus if you call a cab or you Uber, this one trip is going to cost you $20. And then now you back at home, but you need to go somewhere else. The next trip is going to cost you $15. The next trip. So you'll spend more on these trips than if you just put gas in your car and went on about your business. You know, made your little quick trips. So this shit really does hit hard, you know what I'm saying? But anonymous authority, because it's the society that we live in. I mean, again, they give you a president. Do you know all of the senators and this and that? They just tell you it's the House or whatever else. Anonymous authority is everywhere. That's the name of the game. A slavery without chains is everywhere. And you are indoctrinated in this from the moment you are born. Again, Mind Control 101. You know, slavery without chains. You are given a name. And at this point, you may be 17, 18, 19, 20, 30 years old, whatever, 40, 50 years old, but you like your name. That is your name. Nobody else is James Osborne. That's my name, nigga. I'm the only one. Lo and behold, James is pretty common. Osborne is common as fuck. There's a James Osborne on Spider-Man, nigga. So no, you know what I'm saying, nigga? It's not that unique. I'm not the only James. James is in the Guinness Book of World Records. LeBron James. As a name, most used name, period. First, middle, or last. James is one of the top names used to the Guinness Book. You know what I mean? So, I'm just saying. Some people are so attached to this shit that they think that's who they are. Because their parents gave them a name. Because in the hospital they say you have to give this baby a name right here, right now. And then that's your name for here and indefinitely. Again, that's your name, that's your chain. You can change it later on if you want to. Or again, nigga, I'm OZ the Wizard. I don't go by James. At work, these niggas don't call me James. In the professional realm or some shit, niggas call me James. But other than that, don't nobody fucking call me James. Unless they choose to. But outside of that, I got other names that I resonate more with or just whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm free. Now, I do have that tag on my license and this, that, whatever. There's James. There's my chain. But I'm free to do whatever I want to do on my own. See, that's what stops you from, again, the breakdown in relations. That's why it's the ultimatum. You will have a breakdown in relations. You can't relate. You cannot relate. It's hard to relate, but when you understand that this is indeed what the fuck you dealing with, it then becomes that many, 110, 100,000 million times easier to relate, not only to yourself, to the rest of society, to life. Now you know what's going on. Then you start to ask the more important questions of why. Why? Why am I going through this? Why am I dealing with that? Why am I? Why? You know? One of the things, again, like I say, at work, I don't know why this shit's trying to distract me. I'm sorry, man. I have all these little itches and whatever the fuck. I know it's just shit trying to distract me. But I feel like it's kind of rude. I keep scratching my face and rubbing my eyes like I'm sleepy and shit. Kind of rude. But again, the distractions. I apologize. And I'm sorry, even just going up on this track. See, it even pulls my mind away. But again, I'm sorry, the chains. We have these chains, you know what I'm saying, that we are stuck with. You know what? Let me just get right back to the book, because that shit just threw me all the way off. And I'm sorry. But that's what it was meant to do, which is why I'm glad I called it out. I'm already knowing when shit's going to try to pull my mind off of some shit real quick. But, no effort and no pain is where I was trying to ultimately touch on out of this book before I pull out some of these other books. And we have been in it for quite some time, so I'm sorry. Let's try to keep this shit moving, y'all. I apologize. Oh, man. Let's keep this shit moving. I need some more drink for real, but I don't want to. Let's just keep this shit moving. No effort and no pain. So again, by us having so many cars, you can get a car, you can do this and that. It's you know what? Hold on. Let me get some more drink. Alright, so I had to take a quick pause, clear the cotton mouth. Hey man, I be doing a lot of shit. So I try to just one take this and be done. I'm not a big on editing and doing all this other shit, bro. So, you know what I mean? And I'm trying not to let my mind go too far into La La Land, because again, like I said, this philosophical shit, it can get deep. It gets really deep. And I can easily go off into a million directions. So I want to try to pull it back. I'm glad I just had to take a quick pause. Again, mouth was getting dry and shit from out talking. Quick pause and we back. And a little bit harder on track. Again, to have or to be. And like I said, even with your name and whatnot, so many people are wrapped up into what they have. They consider what you have tends to make you who you are. You have a name. You have a body. See, that's the first thing that you deal with as a human. Babies realize they have a body. The first thing that you are given is a body. The first thing you have to figure out is your own body. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to figure out, oh, it's this and it's that. You know what I mean? People start giving you shit. And from there on out, you start dealing with the things in your surrounding and everything else. You know what I mean? Nature. You have to deal with things out here in the quote-unquote real world, right? So it's up to you. You have to make that conscious. Well, at some point, some of us, you know what I'm saying, we consciously come back to the whole, oh, okay, so this is what life is really about, or this is what it is. I used to tell my father, he used to say, man, just keep your head down, just go to work and come home. And I'm like, well, shit, nigga, I might as well be dead. And I was like going on 25. I'm like, nah, I'm getting ready to go back to school, get a degree, something. I'm going to do some shit. I found some shit that I like. If anything, if I'm going to be working every day, punching the clock, I'm going to do some shit I like. It was just me coming to that, conclusion. As I'm 20-something, like, hold on, nigga. Because I had a job and I was there for like 2 years. And he's like, man, just go to work. And I'm like, bruh, I can't do this for the next 30, 40 years. This is life. Go to work, come home, cook dinner. This is life for the next 30, 40 years. Can't be real. Not me, but you just have to accept death. For some people, that is the ideal, man. You got a job that you like. You can just go to work, come home, and do everything. Man, that's what's up. But for me, I had to do something. I'm just saying, you come to, some people come to these realizations. Some of this shit is hard. But in 2024, for me, 2024, that's the ultimate ultimatum, nigga. The indefinite ultimatum, nigga. That's the indefinite ultimatum, nigga. For real. For real. And I did take another shot. So, I'm not too fucked up, but I am feeling fucking good, man. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we won't take up too much time. But again, man, I really had to share that with y'all, man, and we had to go there with it. We just had to go there, man. The indefinite ultimatum. This is about being who you are and understanding who you are and then accepting that. Because I want you to be free. I think everybody, it's just, that's what it takes to be free. Like, nigga, you are who you are. The Metaphysics of Astrology, one of the books I know I've talked about, I did a video about, but the Metaphysics of Astrology, man, just as much as, like, a lot of people can tell you, oh, I'm a Taurus because I was born in April 28th makes me a Taurus. But that's just what the sun was doing, nigga. The moon was doing this, Venus was doing that, Mars was doing this. Bunch of different things make you who you are. But I wanted to get to these books. As I said, there's some books that I ain't really touched on. It really made me want to go pull these books out. Birthday books, and I have The Secret, because you can find this shit online now. The Secret Language of Birthdays, The Secret Language of Destiny. I got all three of these books. And I usually pull out the birthday book. Everybody loves the birthday book. I like that one because it's a lot bigger, but I have a smaller book, like another reference book, and then The Secret Language of Destiny, because that shit was just so hard to me. I really wanted to share that with a couple people. A ex-co-worker of mine, he no longer works at the spot, but I fuck with dude. And I think this shit is hard. Couple of, I just wanted to share this shit, But The Secret Language of Birthdays, right? So when we first go to a nigga's birthday, it breaks down a lot of shit. One birthday I would like to go to is November 3rd, because I'm going to pull it out in this other book. But November 3rd, a guy I used to work with, he was, two people actually born on the same day, but different years, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. But same day, different years. And it's like a 20-year difference. Anyways. But November 3rd, strengths are persistent, concentrated, triumphant. Weaknesses, there are suffering, procrastinating, and depressive. Advice. For somebody born on November 3rd, advice. Learn how to let go. Suffering and resentment can drop away if you let them. Be more realistic about your enthusiasm. Beware of indolence. Your enjoyment of pleasures may have to be tempered. Okay? So, November 3rd people's powers of concentration are usually excellent as are their mental and physical development, but the expression of their feelings is often blocked. They may send up a wall against any probing of their inner thoughts and emotions, resisting most personal examinations. Yet they can be quite sympathetic and empathetic toward others, readily understanding their problems. Very deep people, those born on this day, are nevertheless unlikely to fathom their own profundity. Not only do November 3rd people make bad enemies because of their physical presence and intelligent battle tactics, but also because of their satirical and sarcastic bent. They are quite capable of tearing an opponent to pieces verbally. November 3rd people must learn to temper their aggressive side and to express their emotions in a more harmonious and flowing manner. Fighting their own intolerance as well as learning to be more forgiving, accepting, and open are crucial to their personal and spiritual development. Now that's just one book. but knowing your chains. This is anybody and everybody born on November 3rd. You know what I'm saying? Now, yes, it does go into some Scorpio, this to that. This is why I feel like astrology is fucking huge, right? I would read you April 28th, but my birthday is not in this book. It was ripped out. Some shit is just so real. But I can go to a good buddy of mine, January 29th, because I'm going to pull out the secret language of destiny, and we're going to hit this. So January 29th, and then I'm going to do April 16th for my partner, a YouTube subscriber, long-time subscriber of mine. We're going to hit April 16th real quick. But January 29th, strengths, reasonable, social, fun-loving, weaknesses, unsure, ambivalent, and passive. They do passive, right? So advice, toughen up a bit. The easiest way is not always the best. Don't insist that you can do without. Express your wants and expect others to do the same. How will anyone know if you don't tell them? Last two paragraphs, real quick. As mentioned before, January 29th people are generally accepting of many points of view. However, since they will rarely reject an option out of hand without examining it first, they may have difficulties making lasting decisions. Their profound human understanding, one of their strongest talents, in the final analysis can foster ambivalent attitudes which become an obstacle to their success. Characteristically, though, these courageous individuals keep going, battling with an equal effort against their own underlying doubts and society's barriers. The key to their success usually lies in building a solid ego structure, tough enough to protect them and realistic enough to advance their aspirations. That's January 29th. Now, again, freedom with change. Knowing what we dealing with, like your natal chart, this or that. Knowing the shit. Versus, nah, it ain't really me, or kind of, hey man, it is what it is. Oh, I didn't hit April 16th, but we've already kind of talked about the April 16th. I'm going to hit April 16th in this book, though. See, look at that. From the 26th to the 29th. Nigga ripped out my whole birthday. It is what it is. But April 16th. Nah, fuck it, we moving fast. We should be able to pull it up rather quickly. To be fair. April 16th, a dude told me this shit was 2000, born in 2000. But April 16th, birthday book, right? Secret Language of Birthday. Strengths, humorous, generous, accepting. Weakness, out of touch, fiscally irresponsible. Watch your money, player. And permissive. Weaknesses, permissive. You allow a lot of shit to go down. Fiscally irresponsible, out of touch. You gotta live in the real world. Humorous, generous, and accepting. You give away money. That must be the fiscally irresponsible part because you just give shit away. Anyways, advice for April 16th. Remember who your friends are and don't neglect your family. Try to keep your emotions on an even keel and beware of sentimentality. Beware of it. You the only one sentimental. Nobody else cares about that shit. Don't be bored. Don't be bound to the past. Rather, look to the future. Beware of those who would take advantage of your good nature. You know what I'm saying? Because you still stuck on old ass memories or whatever else. They like, oh yeah, nigga, you know, still your friend, right? We still cool, ain't we? Come on, you know, I need some gas money, buddy. You still my friend, you still my best friend. Give me some gas money, partner. Last paragraph. Those born on this day heed not only their own voices, but also those of others. Taking the plight of their fellow man seriously, truly feeling at a deep level the distress of others is an important part of April 16th person's development. Sometimes in their excessive idealism, they may forget the needs of others and be quite ruthless. Yet in the final analysis, few will blame or hold lasting grudges against them. They are forgiven precisely because they themselves so readily forgive. The greatest lesson April 16th people have to teach others is to be non-judgmental and to accept the setbacks and difficulties of life with grace. So this is just, you know what I'm saying, kind of pointing at who you are, which for me to kind of get back to the whole freedom with chains or slavery without chains. Because you can act like this ain't who you are. But that's why it's an ultimatum, you know what I'm saying? Life is going to keep giving you the bullshit that you're going to keep running into because you're trying to act like you're acting against your nature, who you are, what you are here to do, how you were built, structured, how the planets align, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're here in a human being. So to me, the best thing that we can all do in 2024 is understand exactly what that means to be this particular human. At this particular time, I was born 1985, 428. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? This is the nigga that I am. There were several other people who was born 1925, 428 in different parts of the world, different hours of the day. They are who they are. I am who I am. There's only one individual, so I have to deal with my shit. Just as much you got to deal with your shit. But again, and we're gonna get deeper. We're gonna get deeper. I just really wanted to get to these birthday books and shit. And this is just, like the part one. We got several other chapters and whatnot to get to. I don't want to take up too much time. We already been damn near an hour in. But let's go back to the next birthday book. So November 3rd. All right, November 3rd. In this book, because I want you to see, even like wherever you go, it will still tie in, right? A deep, penetrating insight is one of your great assets. The inclination to keep probing and prodding until you get to the root of a problem helps you understand people and evaluate their situations. Now, the nigga I worked with, maintenance, you know what I'm saying? Industrial maintenance. The inclination to keep probing and prodding until you get to the root of a problem helps you understand people and evaluate their situations. That shit also corresponded to machines. Dude worked with machines, so he's able to troubleshoot and evaluate, get to the root cause of why the machine is stopping or why it ain't running or what we need to do to keep it running. He was good at that. So I'm just saying, it happens, you know what I mean? In love relationships, you may be torn between the inclination toward loyalty and fidelity on the one hand, and your naturally flirtatious, independent spirit on the other. You'll take your time before making a commitment, but once you do, you'll stick to it. So it's just a little bit of like what that nigga is. And then when we come over here to January 29th, again, the art of being, January 29th, right? You are more romantic than most Aquarians and more likely to want a partner to share your life. However, once you find your soulmate, you expect an ideal relationship. In love, you are capable of real devotion. But if your significant other should disappoint you in any way, you are also capable of leaving without a backwards glance. Talkative, friendly, and socially aware, you have a way of drawing people out and finding out what makes them tick. You believe in cooperation and think most problems are best resolved through discussion and compromise. Basically rational and reasonable, you approach things intellectually rather than emotionally. Your unusual combination of a scientific mind and an artistic temperament comes from the ability to mix and match your creative ideas with your love of beauty and technological insight. So again, we are who we are, and part of the reason why my birthday ain't in either one of these books is I pointed to baby mama like, look, nigga, here, you keep saying I'm this and I'm that. Nigga, I keep saying I'm this and I'm that. It's even backed up in any fucking book you go to. Nigga, I'm me, and ain't shit else getting ready to tell you any different. These motherfuckers that tell you the same thing I'm telling you. Nigga couldn't take that. Rip my birthday out. Ain't that a bitch? So let's get to the secret language of destiny. And then I'm going to stop the video here and we can come back and get a little deeper into the art of being. The secret language of destiny, nigga. Freedom with chains. And this is how deep the chains go. But by bringing them out, they are now external. We know about them. We are aware. Okay? Now, me, I'm 4/28, 1985. So, April 1985, this shows birth dates and their karmic paths. So, for me, I come to 1985, April 28th is the way of grace. I walk, my karmic path is grace. 4, November 3rd, my partner's birthday. I'm going to come over here and just show you straight up. My nigga shit is instruction. The karmic path of instruction. And for my co-worker, I do believe 1973, if I'm wrong, I'll try to do the math and get another. But 1973, articulation, 268. And then for 2000, the karmic path for my dude, April 16th, 2000 is versatility, 684. So, what I like about this book is it gives you the week, right? It even breaks down the week. So, Let's go with the one we just read. Let's go straight up with. Did I do April 16th out of that book? I'm not sure. But let's go with bro. Articulation 268. So we skip here to 268 and we see some more shit. We get a little more deeper. Core lesson of those who walk the way of articulation. The core lesson is to overcome the fear of rejection or humiliation. Goal: dare to be different. Release the attraction to the darker side. Your reward will be the joy of celebrating one's unique view of the world. Nothing wrong with being a weirdo. And by, I say weirdo because you're the only one. It's kind of what makes you weird because you like be the only one. And motherfuckers be like, why is it? Because you are you. There's nothing wrong with being you. And with that Aquarius shit, as we get ready to find out, because we come over here to January, boom, the week of the genius. And this is all for fair use and whatever else. Those born in the week of the genius who find themselves on the way of articulation are likely to achieve great success as they are naturally gifted with a fine sense of independence and the relative freedom to march to their own unique rhythms. Thus, they will likely have little trouble flying in the face of convention or freeing themselves from fears of rejection or humiliation. At least in the personal sense and the professional arena, they may have a harder time hitching their wagons to a star. However, and may act out some personal insecurities in issues and conflicts with people in position of authority. Underachievement in general can be a problem, yet with time and increased confidence, these rugged individualists will surely forge some highly innovative and inspired traits. The challenge for the week of genius on the way of articulation, the challenge is applying their determination to achieve their goals or career success, even in the face of their impulsiveness. Fulfillment. Having the articulation of their ideas be lauded as brilliant. That's the fulfillment. So, specifically for bro, and you tell me, and not even you tell me, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, that's up to you, but you figure out if this is something that really hits for you, because that's why I had to go back to this book, The Secret Language of Destiny. The Secret Language of Destiny. That's why I really wanted to pull this shit out, because for me it hit. And again, like I said, the indefinite ultimatum. These are the changes that we have to deal with. And as long as they are no longer internal, slavery without chains, I would rather be free and know what I'm dealing with. So this is just my way. I'm just trying to help. That's all. But again, you know what I'm saying? Having articulation of their ideas be lauded as brilliant. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's what I'm saying, man. Mouth dry, throat dry, the motherfucker. Fulfillment. They get fulfilled, bro. Will find reward. Gets rewarded when other people say, man, your idea, that was dope. That you're a genius. I'm glad you told us that. I'm happy you came up with that. What, man? Dude's a fucking genius, dog. He's amazing. Dude would probably love that shit. And I know he got some Leo and some man, you would love that shit. Mixed with again what's going on in your chart, but that's what you're dealing with. My bad. So let's go with the November 3rd. The way of instruction. The way of instruction, November 3rd. Those born during the week of now this is a different partner, man. Not my nigga at work, but this is a person. But November 3rd. Depth. Serious, dedicated, and gifted with considerable powers of concentration. Individuals born in the week of depth will have little trouble developing the practical expertise demanded by the way of instruction. Scorpios may, however, experience a number of problems when it comes to sharing their knowledge in a larger social context to a large group of people. For it is their natural inclination not necessarily to expand, but rather to go into things deeply with attention and awareness. Thus, they can get mixed in over attention to detail, worry, and workaholic habits that can separate them from their truest calling. Still, Scorpio individuals are gifted with a natural empathy for others that will serve them well in social situations. And if they fight their tendency to be suspicious and hypercritical, they are sure to win both the hearts and the attention of the larger world. Now, that's specifically because, I mean, again, you born during whatever the fuck you got going on, but that's specifically just the week of death. Now, if I was to read somebody else, let's say September 19th, 1995. So between September 19th and September 24th. But this is also the way of instruction, right? Climbing down from the ivory tower of ideals and learning how to put theory into practice will figure prominently in the lives and destinies of these Virgo individuals. Their need for harmony and beauty can lead many of these men and women into rather sheltered or unrealistic environments, and their ability to go out and meet some of their harsher realities will be tested here. Others may be unwilling to deal with dependency issues in the area of personal relationships and may be forced to spend time alone, if only to convince themselves that they are capable of doing so. Still, Virgos and some of these Libras have great potential to attract people and resources to their cause, as well as a fine sense of social trends and directions. If those born in the week of beauty use their natural charm as the instrument for delivering knowledge to the world, they are likely to be blessed with a large and willing audience. So again, there's two different, this the Virgo shit, that was the Scorpio shit. Born during the karmic path of instruction. Dude was what? 2000s versatility, 684. So April 16th, versatility. April 16th, 2004. Versatility, right? Release the need to be detached. Release the need to be detached. Reward the joy of a fully integrated approach. But the gifts of the way of versatility, April 16th, 2000. The gifts of this way is innovative, brilliant, and dauntless. The pitfalls is you can be cold, superior, and aloof. April 16th. Alright. Yep. Often, okay, again, I'm trying to read through this really, really quick and get back to the art of being, and then we'll close this fucking video out. Often hindered by a pronounced tendency to impose their ideas on others without regard to their feelings. Those born in the week of the pioneer who find themselves on the way of versatility will have to actively cultivate what has been referred to as people skills in order to find the happiness and connection they seek. Though gifted with formidable talents and the ability to inspire others to lofty goals and ideas, these individuals may nevertheless fall down in this karmic path's challenge to develop connection, empathy, and warmth. In fact, some of them will be much better at giving than receiving and may act out of the belief that they know what's best for everyone else while ignoring or suppressing their own deepest needs. Yet, if they allow their actions always to be informed by intuition and stay realistic in their expectations of others, life will get easier for them. Challenge: biting their tongues when they like to tell others what to do. You got to learn how to do that shit. Fulfillment: using their many talents for a good cause. So, to me, like I said, it helps to know all of these fucking chains, all of this shit that puts you into this box that makes you who you are. Because that was, I'm telling you, dude, this list, I'm going to zoom in and see if it'll let me, you know what I'm saying? See if you can kind of see that a little bit. But this list, there are a lot of them. A lot of them. Just as much as like a natal chart, nigga. There's a whole lot of combinations, but there's only one combination that makes up you. So it's worth figuring that shit out. Whether it's through numerology, through whatever the fuck. It's worth figuring that shit out. Because society, being human, just being human, And I say society again, it doesn't matter what culture you come from. Nigga, they gonna give you a name. They're gonna tell you how to get down, how to move, wherever the fuck you at. This is what we wear for clothes. You need a shirt, you need pants, you need something. Even the niggas that live in the bush, off in the fucking, you know, the still in niggas that still live in the jungle, in the rainforest and shit, some fucking world, whatever else. It's still a society. There's still a way of how we get down and how we move, whether, you know, they're more connected to nature and in tune with that shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's the ultimatum. You can either be free with chains or a slave without chains. But you getting them both. You getting them both. You are both at the same fucking time. So I just wanted to hit that. Now my shit is in here. I'll give you mine. I will share mine. 1985, April 28th. I walked the way of grace. So let's hit my shit real quick, so y'all see where I'm at with it. I walked the way of grace. Release the need to hide. I got to do more videos. I got to get on here and talk more. I got to get out of my, you know, I be in my fucking cave. I got all these books or whatever else. I don't consider it hiding, but I know that's how a lot of motherfuckers do. But gifts: steadfast, magnetic, and fair. I'm fair as fuck, I really am. The pitfalls: depressed, prone to worry, and inflexible. I admit this is, you know, it is what it is, right? Now let's go to April 28th. April 28th, okay? Boom, the week of manifestation. This is OZ the Wizard, alright? I'm sharing my shit too. A fine combination of intellectual, emotional, and practical powers come together in those born in the week of manifestation who navigate the way of grace. Indeed, their biggest stumbling block may lie in their tendency to cling to notions of hierarchy when the situation demands something more resembling heroism. Heroism. Resistance to change, when change is demanded of them, may also prove difficult. Yet they are blessed with wonderful qualities of calm and are sure to exhibit a fine measurement of grace under fire. Though it is not likely that Taurus will be much able to indulge in their great need for peace and quiet with this configuration, they will nevertheless have the opportunity to reveal considerable courage, some astonishing leadership skills, and a sincere interest in bringing others together in an atmosphere of protection and nurture. Challenge: releasing inflexibility. I be on what I be on, but I releasing inflexibility is my challenge. I hate to budge. I am a Taurus. At the end of the day, I got a lot of fire, but it is what it is. Fulfillment: cultivating a peaceful, graceful home environment. Everything's quiet and chill. And it takes a good job to do that. Like, hey man, look, I ain't gonna go into all my shit. I could flip the fuck out. But for me, man, it hits, and I hope that helps you motherfuckers. If anybody wants to know, I mean, again, comment some shit. I'll throw some shit in there that we'll talk about in the next video. You know what I mean? But that's what it is, dude. That is the ultimate, the indefinite ultimatum. That is the indefinite ultimatum, period. Freedom with chains or slavery without chains, nigga. You gotta decide. You gotta make a decision. I've only had one person. Thank you for staying this long. I've only had one person actually hit me with shit. I'd rather die. Fuck that. If I have to choose, man, I'd rather die. And I'm like, you know, that's really powerful too, because you are the only one that's ever. But even with that, that brings up a lot, because the powers that be, the man, the New World Order, Illuminati, whatever y'all fucking want to call it. The powers that be, that's one reason why people don't go this deep. That's why we can't ask these questions. That's why they don't even want you to get there. They fill your shit, fill your day-to-day presence with so many things that you never even get there. But that's part of the reason why, because some people would just die. You know, like, even imagine this. If you knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that being in this human body, you wasn't shit, or again, you was faced with that realization way early in life, look, you only gonna be 5'6". You only gonna, some people, you're only gonna amass this much of a fortune. You're only gonna go this far. You only gonna have this. If you knew that shit from the offset, as soon as you could effectively grab a knife and slit your wrist and cut this shit out, then you'd be out of here. Moving on. Or for some people, if you knew spiritually, you connected to some higher this and that, the next world, the next realm, the next life after this is way better than this. Or you could just kill this out and start all over again if you knew that beyond a shadow of a doubt. Some people would just go ahead and, suicide. Just go ahead and suicide. Go ahead and pull that trigger, man. Suicide. They would go ahead and knock themselves out. Go ahead and kill yourself. Hate to say it. But so a lot of people, they just might. Some people reach that level of, just like the ones who have had enough of this world, this realm, who are just convinced nothing else good is going to come from it, or I've just had enough, I just don't want to keep living another day of this BS. Some people would do that shit. So I'm just saying, man, the powers that be would want to keep certain people away from this knowledge because that's what would happen. And then who's going to run the companies? Who's going to come to work every day to the normal 9 to 5? Who's going to be a sucker? Anyways, man, OZ the Wizard. We done went an hour. We'll probably come back and touch on this shit again. I had a couple more chapters that I didn't get to. And again, man, it's 2024. This is a conversation that needs more, needs to go, needs to get deeper. Like I said, if your brain start going and shit starts, doing things, man, I apologize. I appreciate it. I'm glad I could get you there and get you rolling. You know what I mean? Comment on my shit. That's what I like the most. I like to see fucking comments, man. Comment. Let me know what's up and we talk some more. I do have some shit to go to. Like I said, I got a ton of fucking books. I keep ordering books. I need a whole nother shelf. I should put my Cash App on that. Maybe you niggas can buy me a shelf. Help me get a shelf, nigga. Damn. Nah, I'm just fucking around, man. I've been drinking. I'm not, y'all already know I ain't that type of nigga. I ain't asking for shit. OZ the Wizard, man. Holla at me. Thanks.